Greetings, my friends. This is Gilles Monsieur. I'm going to continue to communicate here until I can open this other channel in English. But I wanted to discuss a few things. The first one is that we're really going deeper and deeper and deeper into this photonic belt. It's a part of the galaxy that's filled with like an ocean of light. And it's like we've been already in the fringe of it for quite a while. We entered into the age of Aquarius at the end of 2012. And the light increases and increases and increases. And all of the dark forces, the Draco-reptilian programs, the more we move into this light frequency, they're going to be removed. They don't know how to handle the light, so they're going to be removed from power. So you do have to be patient with that. And to leave the 3D behind as much as possible, the world of egos and all of that. We are going to come into this phase at some point. It's going to be 3 days of darkness and a great solar flash, and all kinds of things are going to be changing. So it is important to continue to follow your heart. And for in truth, we're always in spirit. For the world of spirit is quite amazing. It has no limitation. There's so much love and light, and the higher you go, the greater the experience becomes, the unity consciousness. And those who are, and we all return to that. Every time we sleep, we return to that plane. And then we come back into the sleeping dream here, but we awaken every time we go to sleep. We go to recharge our battery in connection to the source, to God. And in the afterlife, it is everything we create, we're going to harvest. There are those people that are really, that are doing all kinds of really dark things, and they're not going to like what's going to be happening after the end of this incarnation, because they're completely unaware of that. But our true self has always been on a higher plane. Our soul is completely above and beyond anything of the shifting sand of time. So it's like sometimes I feel like my soul is brutalizing me with things, but it's actually because pushing my button is challenging all kinds of things within me, but my higher self, it has not been touched. So it's like the world of spirit is not touched by any of that. It's completely above and beyond. We choose to project a reality in form and time. And so pay attention to your dreams also, because when we sleep, sometimes we transmute energies, we transmute negative energies that we had, blockages, nightmares, and so on. But sometimes we receive beautiful messages, and sometimes we descend. I descend. Sometimes I wake up in the morning. I descend from planes that are so heavenly, and so I feel like, what am I doing here? Why do I? It's like what a punishment to return into this physical plane, but the pain comes from our resistance of being our true natural self. As we let go of the ego, this higher self will come in. And the power lies in standing in the paradox between the eternal and finite consciousness and our evolving, growing consciousness within that, and the point of connection between the two. For it's like I had a train of thoughts, a thought that was generated in my mind that's not really, it's something hard to deal with. I really like keep being throwing back and forth, but I had a train of thoughts this morning that created like ecstasy in my brain, like orgasm, like my skull, different part of my brains were just in ecstasy because life goes so fast, but my thought followed the path. There was a subtle path, and so everything, and I've had that before in other parts of my body, like arms, legs, organs, or things. But eventually you can feel like you can live in this ecstatic, the whole body can live in this ecstatic state. For it is very possible, as when we're fully aligned with our divine I am, with our soul. So we're always getting what we need in truth. So not always what we want, like the song of the Rolling Stones says, can't always get what you want. You get what you need. Sometimes that's what it is. It's very, but we always getting what we need, and we can always make a new choice at any given point. So it's like. So it's like we have to move from believing or imagining to knowing. As we know things, they will come into being a lot faster, and keep a positive outlook. So because there are so many destiny within the infinity of the Creator, there is no limit. Each soul and spirit has a potential. It knows it can realize a lesson it can learn. It's more than lessons, because we're in touch with the whole of life at all times. So it's like, but the Creator will reveal itself very slowly, like a drop and a drop and a drop. There's certain things that are getting more clear as far as my past. It's like, it's kind of nice to know that there is a plan, and the plan makes sense. It's just we don't know about it. So sometimes we get confused confused and go on side tracks. The card of the day is the destinies. We're here to fulfill our destiny. So it's like just be ready. We're all moving towards this ascension. Even those who choose to stay under the control of the snake, the 3D matrix, will continue to grow and evolve. They're going to finish their incarnation and they'll move into another planet in 3D. But everybody else will move into the ascended form of fourth and fifth dimension or above. So, but there is always a great potential to realize it. We as eternal being, our soul knows it's not. There is no hurry. We are the one in a bit of a hurry. Personally, I'm a bit of a hurry to return to making art, to painting, and to retrieving my art. I don't know if I will be able to. It's like 40 years of my life. I spend like 10 hours a day painting those paintings, and now I have no clue as far as. Some spirit says that I will retrieve them, so I hope so. I pray to God that they're safe and I will be able to get them back and present them into the world. But there is always new level of oneness. There is always greater oneness, supremacy, ultimacy. I mean, there's like, for me, my alignment is on the local universe level, the 352 dimension of the creator universe, and I have a double alignment with the central universe of eternity. It's kind of strange, but it's just the way it is. Spirit showed me. But what we seek is to return to the source, to return to God, to the creator, to the higher planes already. Already it's like one step closer to the presence of God in the fifth dimension. But for that we have to trust. We have to trust our inner self, we have to trust life, we have to trust ourselves, we have to trust others, it's very important to trust the process. And remembering each and every day that our true being resides in infinity. I was thinking if I could, because I have a lot of regrets in my past, but I've learned so much. I say, well, it's like, whoa, all those things that I could have, opportunities and so on. It's like, but I realized that if we erase the mistake of the past, we would not have all the wisdom that we have gained, and so it has to be accepted. Eventually, when we move into the fifth dimension, all our memory will be handled by our higher self. We won't be plagued by any sort of memory. So not that all will be forgotten, but memory will only become accessible when we need it as a positive force. For there is a great deal of energy waves that are coming that will reset consciousness, and some will choose to stay in 3D. But for those who are seeking, they will hear and see more of other dimensions, like having antennas in other dimensions. It's like being in a state of trance and to be in alpha state, to be very well centered deep within ourselves, yet completely aware of what is going on outside. And spirit will approach us through dreams and meditation, essentially. Then eventually a connection is made. Spirit will interact at any point in time. But at first it really comes through that. And the more we are awake, then our connected self, the easier it gets. And we need to develop telepathy, because we can't really use telepathy with other humans, but up in the higher planes, that's the only way to communicate from mind to mind, telesort, holographic, whatever form of communication. But we can already communicate with all of the higher planes, galactic, celestial, whatever, through telepathy. So whatever you think, you receive, and if you're receptive, you will get the answers. For the presence of the creator, the prime creator, embraces and transcends all things, all times, all spaces, all dimensions, all universes. The presence of God is utterly even beyond all that. It's like my greatest experience in spirit was when I met the creator, when I met God, when he descended to come into his presence into my life. It was like, take me, I want to stay with you. But it told me that it was to ask me things, and so to fulfill a certain mission. So be it. For it is about to come into the unified presence of love, and the presence to move into this sphere, and to understand each soul carries its own burden, its own trauma, its own baggages. And as teachers of light, we have to navigate all that with lucidity to help others. That's the meaning of the meek shall inherit the earth. And each soul has his own aspiration, his own challenge. They have all designed their own thing. And so one thing that can work for someone may not work for someone else. Something that may be acceptable for someone may not be acceptable for someone else. Something that may be acceptable for you today may not be acceptable tomorrow. So just be flexible and listen to your intuition. Yeah, there is only one law, one life, and one consciousness. So it is what we seek is to find this point of balance between the unchanging consciousness of Source and our own individual growing consciousness. And so yeah, it's kind of delicate sometimes to feel like, when your guides and soul and spirits communicate with us, that they're so far beyond into a realm with no limit, no lack, absolutely no traumas or anything like that. So it's like but everything we do, think, and say in relationship to our life here has certain meaning, and is influencing our own reality. For the observer of the day is the orphan. Sometimes we've been dropped down here. We all had different reasons for coming down here, and the highest wisdom is Atlantis. To remember this memory of Atlantis. What we need to understand is the body of desire, the ego body, desiring body. We need to overcome the ego body, desiring body, the alimentation of anger. What we need to do is the mother, to be nurturing, to be kind, to be loving, to connect to our Mother Earth and to the great Mother Spirit. And the outcome will be the art, the creative expression, and we're going to be able to, hopefully, I'm really eager to return to work. For all the plans of the globalists were interrupted by the little one thing, it was called the internet and social media. There is so much waves of light that is, they cannot prevent that. They can try to censor it, but it will not work. It's like, it's very... it's just they won't be able to do it. Yet we have to understand that there is bubble of darkness that have been created through the past history, through all so much cruelty, brutality, dark things that humanity has done. It created pockets of darkness within the earth, and now the earth has to release that. So the people that are through the surface, and so the people that are living in those areas, they're unfortunately, they don't. Mother Earth doesn't want us make people suffer, but she needs to release those pockets of darkness. As we enter more into the photon world, also at some point we're going to have to go through this certain great shift in consciousness. A lot of things are going to be destroyed that are no longer appropriate within the 5D world, and all the 3D people will probably be evacuated at this point. It's like an acceleration in consciousness, but fear not. Everything is perfect, and this is actually a freedom, a liberation point. So I'm not saying that we need to. Our life doesn't belong to us. We have a soul contract. We need to wait for our return to the light. But there is nothing to fear from this. It has never existed, and it will never exist. It's an illusion they sold here to keep people in fear. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I thank you so very much for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and for your donations. It's really assisting me right now. I'm gonna, and if you want a private session, you can send me an email. I'm gonna finish with a song. I wasn't gonna sing, but the song came through my mind at the last moment, so I think I sang it. It's called Like a Rainbow. She comes in colors everywhere. She combs her hair. She's like a rainbow, coming colors in the air, oh, everywhere. She comes in color. Have you seen her dressed in blue, like the sky in front of you, and her face is like a cell, fair speck of white, so fair and pale. Have you seen a lady fairer? She comes in colors everywhere. She combs her hair. She's like a rainbow, coming colors in the air, oh, everywhere. She comes in color. Have you seen her all in gold, like a queen in days of old? She shoots color all around, like a sunset going down. Have you seen a lady fairer? She comes in colors everywhere. She combs her hair. She's like a rainbow, coming colors everywhere, oh, everywhere. She comes in color. She's like a rainbow, coming colors in the air, oh, everywhere. She comes in color. So yeah, I mean, spirit is like they challenge us, and then they explain the thing. It's like it takes a while to. It's like sometimes it's like it's not always clear. Sometimes we're in resistance. So, but we wanna transcend. We wanna integrate and transcend the states, and then spirit is able to align it and explain the ins and outs, and it really comes little by little. And sometimes it's very it's a process. The highest wisdom is triumph, the triumph of the light, your triumph. What needs to be understood is trust, trust. What needs to be done is the reward, to accept the reward, to be in the gratitude for the reward. And the outcome will be serenity, the state of bliss, the state of lucidity, the state of inner peace. Peace is very essential. So continue to cultivate that. I hope this message was interesting for you. Wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.